Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel, and in today's episode, the special edition is the Ford Transit. Hello and welcome back. Now, if you're new to Quarterlight, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, and sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars, car brochures, looking back at cars gone by, please consider subscribing. It's all about those memories, and cars certainly bring back a lot of memories for me, and I'm sure for you as well. Anyway, back to today's episode. This episode was first aired on a Saturday. We call those episodes the Saturday special is what I'm trying to say. Saturday special episodes show as a special edition version of various different makes and model of car. Today is no exception. We're looking at the Ford Transit. Yeah, the Transit even have a special edition, so we'll be having a look at this one, celebrating 25 years of the Ford Transit. So let's throw this brochure on the board and let's learn a bit more about this unusual special edition. So here is today's special edition. Yeah, a commercial vehicle. Yeah, we don't only look at cars, we do occasionally look at commercials as well. This is our first commercial special edition we've looked at though. So the special edition Transit Jubilee van, celebrating 25 years of transit. If you look to the back page, it's telling us the date of this brochure is September 1990. So here is our first glimpse on the front cover of this Transit in silver, although there were different colour choices you could have as well, which we'll have a look at. Unusual wheel trims for a Transit was my first view. A bit of a side stripe too, and the side's telling us this is the special edition Jubilee, of course. So unusual, isn't it, to have a special edition van, because these are working vehicles. They're hardly going to be looked after and loved really, so you kind of think who would actually buy one of these. A little bit weird, but anyway, let's turn to the first page. So rather nice brochure actually selling these special edition Transits, because it looks back at Transits gone by, which is always nice to see. The top here says 25 years of transit, 1965 to 1990. Let's have a look at the text and have a look at some of these images, although really none of these images really relate to what you're going to buy. So it tells us the name Transit has become a household word for durability, reliability and versatile commercial vehicles. If the name has become universal, the Transit itself has become legendary. In van, bus, chassis cab and chassis windshield derivatives, it was seen that almost every kind of medium commercial vehicle ever needed has by now been built on the foundation of a Ford Transit. Its phenomenal success could not have been envisaged during the design stages before the first Transit was launched in '65. It is no exaggeration to say that the Transit changed the world's thinking about medium weight commercial vehicles and buses. The design reflected an appreciation of the maturity of the driving population. Until then, driving anything much bigger than a car was perceived as best left to a specialist. What's more, before the Transit, utility vehicles were just that in general, lacking in creature comforts and all the refinements that drivers rightfully expect today. The arrival of the Transit heralded a new dawn of working drivers. Here at last was a fully productive working vehicle, but one which was easy to drive, convenient to load and comfortable to travel in. The Transit was designed from first principles by a team of British and German engineers. It was wider overall than its competitors, and newly developed V4 engines were among the host of innovative features. There was also a diesel alternative for the lighter models in the range. On those firm foundations, continuous development programs ensured that Transit specifications developed in line with customers' needs and technology and maintained its sales lead. And there is our first and probably nicest image of an early transit. And you know, a lot of these brochures talk nonsense, but it really was, as it says, it was a big innovation when the transit came by. You know, some of the transits were quicker than the cars at the time, so it was a huge leap forward. I don't know about anything bigger than car was best left to the specialist. I think it was more a case of nobody really wanted to drive a van because they were really quite horrendous to drive. Some really rather unusual images in this brochure. This one in particular shown with an elephant on this B-regged example. This very unusual racing van, or in this case it's actually a pace car, the Supervan 2. And then more unusual derivatives of landmarked transits. And transits doing what transits do, moving things around. It goes on to tell us in 1976 the 1 millionth transit rolled off the production line, and the 2nd million transit did the same in 85, which is that 1985 model that we just looked at there. Sorry for moving the camera around. The current range of transits made its debut in 86, bringing a new and more aerodynamic kind of styling to everyone's favourite van and bus. Today, 25 years on, it still remains the firm favourite and goes on breaking sales and production records. The versatility of the Transit is undeniable. Over the years it has been the basis for almost every kind of medium commercial vehicle and people mover, and some of the applications can only be described as bizarre. But in each case, the Transit has fulfilled a special need. In particular, the Transit has achieved a high profile in the emergency services, and wherever there is an incident, Transit are often part of the rescue scene. The people you rely on Transit. There is an extensive range of models, many of which are available from stock, but for specialised applications, the specifications can be modified with 4-wheel drive, for instance, to provide the exact vehicle for the job in hand. And then turn the page and then we've got a big double page image of this Transit Jubilee, a special edition model. Unusual to see a double page spread like this, unusual in this type of brochure to have more than 4 sides, so they've kind of like gone to more trouble to produce this brochure for this van than they would have done for the special edition cars, which is a little bit unusual. Zooming in a little bit further, those unusual wheel trims, and again on the door the little Jubilee is written on there. So often special edition cars sometimes aren't marked, but they've gone to the trouble of actually putting a decal on this van to make it stand out, and you can see other little things like mud flaps on there, which is a little bit unusual, but we'll certainly learn all the features in a moment. Turn the page again and we get many more images of this special edition, but let's read the text and learn a bit more about it. It tells us to celebrate the first 25 years of Transit success, Ford offers the Transit Silver Jubilee, distinguished by the unmistakable metallic Strato silver paint finish and Jubilee bodyside decals. Stylish wheel trims have been specially chosen to complement the Jubilee style, and there are smart protective bodyside mouldings and tinted glass all round. Inside, the Jubilee benefits from Transit 100 standard level interior trim, with the added bonus of an electronic self-seek AM/FM stereo radio cassette for extra listening pleasure. The load compartment includes a rubber mat, protective trim boards and a heated rear door window. Quite a lot, in fact, to celebrate. Key features saw a 2-litre petrol or a 2.5 diesel engine with 5-speed gearbox, power steering on the diesel, unique bodyside decal and Jubilee logo, body colour grille, bodyside mouldings, tinted glass, rubber load floor mats, special wheel trims, load compartment trim boards, heated rear window, electronic self-seek AM/FM stereo radio cassette with anti-theft coding and 2 speakers, high back drivers and dual passenger seats with padded adjustable head restraints, protective half mesh bulkhead, sliding left hand side load door and a height adjustable driver seat. Then the image, first one, the big picture, is really showing the sliding door, the rather nice dash for a van and that rather nice radio, really spec like a car, isn't it? Loading the cassette into your stereo radio cassette player. We have this little safety cage, and then shown further back we've also includes that rather nice load mat area, and what I think is some really nice seats for a Transit. And then turn to the very back page and we've got all the technical specifications and features, so let's have a look at those now. So as before, it tells us we've got a 2 litre petrol with a 5-speed gearbox or a 2.5 litre diesel with a 5-speed gearbox. Details about the brakes: dual circuit, self-adjusting, servo assisted with discs at the front. Information about the body: full integral aerodynamically efficient steel van body with 1 left hand sliding door with integral step and 2 rear doors. Long life exhaust. Tells about the fuel tank capacity, the radiator fan, the steering, which is rack and pinion, power assisted on the diesel. Suspension is front independent McPherson strut system, rear is leaf spring, shows the turning circle, the tyres and the wheel sizes. Standard exterior features, so we've got an aerial, body side mouldings, bumpers, decals with that Jubilee logo of course. Some information about the doors, door and mirrors, door storage bins, front grille which is body coloured on this example, fuel cap locking by ignition key, lights, locks, mud flaps front and rear, recovery eyes front and rear, side load door and step, styled wheel covers, windows which are tinted, windscreen tinted and laminated, information about the wipers. And then on the inside we get standard equipment like that rather nice stereo radio cassette, ashtray, cigar lighter, clock and trip recorder, coat hooks. Some information about the controls, heated rear windows in the door there, heating and ventilation, some instrumentation there as well, the lights, the load compartment, the load floor, rear view mirror dipping, seats which like we looked at was quite nice for a van, seat belts, steering wheels, storage, some visors, switches, trim on this special edition, full length cab mat, front wheel arch covers, cowl side trim, rubber mats on front door well steps. And then the colours, it seems to be promoting the Strator Silver because it's going for that Jubilee idea, but you can get other colours as well, so you can get diamond white, mercury grey and Tasman blue. Looks like you do in fact get RAC membership, optional warranty plans. This of course is where your dealer stamp would be if the dealer had actually stamped this one. So there we go, this really rather nice Ford Transit Special Edition Jubilee. It's almost like too nice to take to work, but of course I'm sure that's what happened to them. They just went to work the same as any other Transit, which probably means, do any of them survive? Probably not, sadly, but like I say, a really nice special edition for a van, but at the same time I'm not sure who would have particularly gone for these unless they were just in the showroom and there were good deals on them. I'm sure really a business wouldn't really want to spend any extra on all those bits and pieces when it's just going to go out to do work at the end of the day, which certainly makes for a very unusual and probably a very rare van today. If you do remember these, please do jot in the comments, because I certainly do not remember these. But we'll end by saying, please do consider subscribing if you've not already done so. It is completely free, helps you find the episodes you want to see, and of course helps our channel grow and give you better content. We'll end with this lovely Transit Jubilee. We'll add some boxes in here. Probably one will have other special editions in it, one will have something else, usually picked by YouTube. But thank you so much for watching today. Please do enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing. All the best. Take care and goodbye.